ஓகே. நான் அங்கே போகும்போது என்ன ஆகும்? ஆஃப் பண்ணாலும் வந்தாங்க அது சரி பண்ணி பிரச்சனை இதுவாக தான் செஞ்சுக்கலாம்.
ஏன்டா படுத்துறேன் காசு போயிட்டுருக்குறா. டேய் லைவில் நல்லா இருக்கு. நல்லவனே
A fresh morning to the beginning of this Iron Lady Trophy season number 7. A successful journey of this tournament. The expectations of developments of the women's cricket in Chennai, particularly this city, holds a lot of opportunities for cricketers despite of the gender. And these are the platforms which is giving a lot more opportunities to such cricketers, especially with MCCs hosting a lot more tournaments in the summer. This is one among them. Iron Lady is very famous in the locality, and we are into the quarterfinals level of this tournament, as this went on to be an interesting journey of tournament so far, with this quarterfinal between Abdul Malik Cricket Academy, one of the unbeaten sides of the tournament, taking on another tough opposition of today's game, Smiling Pearl CC. Just lost 2 games in that tournament. Start off with the first over. Riya Shrikant with the ball, one of the key bowlers of Smiling Pearls. As usual, she's taking the ball to take up the responsibility of the side. This is such a wonderful history for this tournament, with Iron Lady Trophy reaching its 7th season, and this season particularly is very successful in terms of scoring runs on the board, in terms of creating a lot more impact, not just on the field, even off the field, with women cricketers developing to next extent. 42 league games with 3 different venues, with one at White Jersey, STG, and of course the STAG cricket ground. 3 different grounds of the city have hosted this tournament, and at the end, as of what you're seeing in this picture, Abdul Malik Cricket Academy along with Smiling Pearls, from 2 different groups altogether, they've been participating together. Smiling Pearls are at 3rd position in the Group B, 6 games, 4 victory. continues to bowl wonderful over so far from Riya Srikanth. Not leaving enough spaces to rotate the strike. And you'd be watching the Indian Premier League 2024 with the way how the runs were flowing. And that's what exactly replicating in this tournament, comparing to the way how the previous seasons went. This one went on to be an impactful and productive tournament. End of the first over, that's 2 for no loss. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Two for no loss. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Seems like left arm spinner Rupali, another impactful cricketer, one of the most valuable players of this tournament. Not just for smiling pearls, she's one such talented cricketer to watch out for. Resembling the word pearl, of course, she is a rare stone to watch out for. A left arm spinner dominating the white ball cricket is such a wonderful stuff to watch out for. Just trying to attack the stumps again and again. And that's a typical field positioning for a left arm spinner. And speaking about this particular venue, you could see cover of green grasses in the middle of the wicket. This being the first pitch number 1 of STAG cricket ground, which offers a lot for the fast bowlers. Getting on conditions will offer something for the left arm spinners too. So you should be very careful in terms of playing your back-footed strokes and late cuts, as this skiddy conditions sometimes supports the spinners as well as a good fast bowlers. The beauty of STAG cricket ground is it has something for all the aspects of the game. It may be fast bowling or spin department or batting. It's about you and your adaptation to the game, and that's how it went so far. Just pushing singles Janani and Roshni. Yet to get off the mark, Janani. Roshni is 2 of 6 as of now. And looking at the way how the fearless fight, how the pearls have showed this journey. The journey of pearls is quite interesting to watch the way how they perform so far in this tournament. As this went on to be a tournament happened in 3 different venues. This time into the back foot, proper placement coming on to play. And that will be a couple of runs on the board. Good save at the deep. No chance of going for much impactful runs on the board. Wonderful save at the deep. This time into the back foot, proper placement coming on to play. As you could see, and that chase will be chase and finally couple of runs on the board. Good save at the deep. Stop the ball. No chance from the boundary. Wonderful effort at the deep. Extra flight, you can't go into the back foot. Interesting thing is with the way how they are going to use the pitch condition, because they used to this condition. STAG cricket ground is one of the most famous and iconic venues to play the game of cricket in Chennai. Trying to play the sweep shot in the air, and there is a fielder at the deep. Choose the call, and they ran comfortably for the second run. Good running between the wickets. This has been quite productive over for them, with 7 runs coming off this over. With 1 more to complete this, Rupali will be an impactful bowler. You can't play much mind games against such talented bowlers. Another flighter delivery, well left. Smart cricket from Roshni. End of 2 overs, 9 for no loss. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Continues to bowl Riya Shrikant. You could see the movement with the ball. That's wonderful pull shot into the back foot. Proper placement, no fielder at the deep. Will be the first boundary of the morning. Wonderful stroke making, good welcome for Riya. Just take back a look at that stroke with the ball. Into the back foot. That's wonderful reaction shot into the back foot. Not reminding proper placement, no fielder at the deep. Took her own style to get off the mark with that boundary. A lot more will be expected from Janani as this left-right combination could add a lot more value to them. And speaking about Riya Shrikant, she's moving the ball away from the batter. Probably for the right-handed batters, she'll be in-swinging the ball. She's a state cricketer, of course, a hard-working woman cricketer. One of the top performers of this tournament. Look at that, it's genuinely moving, it's in the air, and that's taken. That is a blunder mistake in the morning as it is T20 format. You have to play cross-batted strokes. Of course, you could be getting inspired from Travis, but this stroke against the swing is not working here for Janani as she is departing back to the pavilion. Just take back a look at that. It's moving away from the batter, and she's trying to play the genuinely moving shot. It's in the air, well, and that's taken. And that's taken. No mistakes done by the fielder. Walks back to the pavilion for 4 runs, and that's 13 for 1. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. We've been speaking about the bowling abilities of Riya Shrikant. Now the left-right combination is broken as Janita, the new batter. Right-handed batter, 57 matches, as you could see the number 92 not out with an average of 34. Good numbers for the batter. And speaking about Riya Shrikant, she's one among the top wicket takers of this tournament, along with Rupali. Wonderful use of the feet. You have to be very conscious while facing such a kind of top quality bowlers. Riya picked up 6 wickets so far in this tournament, and the most important thing in a T20 game is economy of a bowler. She has 4.40 in this tournament. Yes, she is successful and she is one of the most impactful cricketers, not just for the Smiling Pearls, as of what we said for Rupali. As Rupali is the most valuable player of the tournament so far. Along with it, in the 3rd position, you could see Riya Shrikant. 2 top candidates for the new ball were one among the most valuable cricketers of the tournament, which is going to add a lot more value for Smiling Pearls. And this is a conscious decision of bowling first, because they did really well while bowling first. The strength is restricting the upper. Strong shout. Jenny is the on-field umpire, Kishore the on-field umpire, along with Mani. Of course, it moves away from the leg stump. Genuine swinging bowler, and she knows what's exactly happening. Kishore is having some words with Riya Shrikant. We'll speak about the game plan, the tactical move of bowling first from Smiling Pearls in the next over. But as of now, it's 14 for 1. It's a wicket over. With the last ball to complete this over, Riya Shrikant. Quite good. And a dot ball to end this over. That's 14 for 1 after 3 overs. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Starts off with a solid defense. Continues to bowl Rupali. Now we are speaking about the game plan and approach of Smiling Pearls. After winning the toss, they have decided to bowl first. There'll be a lot more angles of this. Probably the pitch condition might be a factor. They're trying to assess the condition by pushing Abdul Malik Cricket Academy to bat first. That must be a reason. But way more than that, all you have to understand is with the way how STAG cricket ground typically reacts. One of those games against Nellai Queens Cricket, Abdul Malik Cricket Academy have lost all their wickets for just 76 runs, and guess what? Eventually they won the game by dismissing the oppositions for 71 runs. That's the kind of confidence you could get in STAG cricket ground. If you are failing, then the opposition will also have the freedom of failing. So you have to be as confident as you could. In STAG cricket ground, it offers something for the fast bowlers always, and if it offers something for the left arm spinners, and most importantly, if you are a solid batter, if you have the potential to bat for a very long time, then STAG cricket ground is your sort of venue. Another decision would be the results that favored them so far in this tournament. Typically they bowl first, they restricted the opposition, and they chase the low targets easily. That's the formula of Smiling Pearl so far in this tournament. But what they have to understand, or what they should never forget, is those two losing games came when they bowl first. That's most important. Both the games Smiling Pearls lost was when they bowl first. So that's something they should keep in their mind. And the other thing is Abdul Malik Cricket Academy, they have won 5 games by batting first, except the last one, which went on to be a first bowling for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. That's wonderful over from Rupali, coming to an end 4 overs, 15 for 1. Four overs, 15 for 1. We've been speaking about the impact of women's cricket in Chennai and in all over India, to be very honest, because the past 7 to 8 years in women's cricket was golden period. They got Women Premier League, they got a lot more attention from the audience of Indian cricket. A wonderful running between the wickets. Riya Shrikant continues to bowl. So yes, that replicates in the city, a city known for its cricketing culture over a period of time. In fact, this particular city has almost 150 years of cricketing experience. Of course, the history will be quite tragic, quite difficult to digest, but that's how it went. People of Chennai always admired the game, they played the game. Initially, they didn't got much opportunities to play the game, to be very honest. Now you could see the growth of women's cricket in Chennai, especially MCC, along with the sponsorships of Sportline, Sports Stories, Thunder, all the sponsors. Thanks to all the sponsors for making this happen. Because without the sponsors, it's quite impossible to trust on the process. And of course, for MCC, for hosting such a wonderful tournaments, they've been doing that consistently for the past couple of years, as this being the 7th season of Iron Lady. And you could see the numbers in Cricket Heroes that could show you a different result altogether. The kind of impact that this particular season number 7, have shown so far in this tournament. We've seen teams scoring 170s and 190s. At the same time, we've seen teams restricting the oppositions for just 70 runs. That shows the kind of quality that they are having in the game. Continues to bowl Riya Shrikant. I could see a bit of moment from Roshni. That should have been a dismissal. Quite close the delivery. I think she's walking in front of the wicket just to avoid the swing ball. are to reach the length of the ball so that you could avoid the swing. I'm not seeing much movement with Riya Srikanth comparing to her previous over. We'll get back to the pitch condition in the next over, but as of now, looking at the way how she bowls this in-swinger regularly, again and again, sometimes it naturally comes for a bowler, sometimes it's a proper practice. Now the right areas to bowl on, a wonderful running between the wickets, cheeky singles that pushes them to reach the confidence zone. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy, one of the unbeaten sides of the tournament, they shouldn't take that to their head, because the opposition that they are facing, a quite unique opposition. They're having solid bowling lineups, especially with the likes of Rupali and Riya Srikanth, two key bowlers. They did so much for the side, so it will be a tough battle for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Roshni on strike. This looks quite good, but this time, as the batter reaches the length of the ball, wonderful timing. Went on to be a good save at the deep, saving a couple of runs for her side. Look at that, look at that. This looks quite good, but this time, took much as the batter reaches the length of the ball, wonderful timing. Not the right areas to bowl on from Riya Srikanth. Wonderful save at the deep. End of 5 overs, 22 for 1. Rupali in the air, and you can't take such risks against Rupali. You could see that desperation from Janita, as she seems like a busy cricketer. She knows the numbers are not matching their potential. It's 5 overs, 22 for 1. They should score a lot more runs on the board, as Abdul Malik Cricket Academy is one of the solid batting sides, trying to reach the length of the ball. Another wonderful running between the wickets. I really love the way how Abdul Malik Cricket Academy are pasting this batting lineup. The running between the wickets is the key factor to build any innings to the next level, especially these cheeky singles that pushes the bowler into the back foot and increases the confidence of the batting side. Speaking about the Riya Srikanth's previous over, it was Roshni who was trying to step out and reach the length of the ball. Eventually Riya started giving that length to them without stepping out. That's the biggest problem with Riya in the previous over. She should bowl at the same areas. That's pretty much important for her. Don't just get confused with the projected score you're watching on the screen. 87 teams have scored 190s and 70s in this venue, so you could expect anything. And the interesting thing about STAG cricket ground, the match will never end until it reaches the last over. For instance, if a team loses all its wickets for just 120 runs, then there is something for the side to defend. That's a speciality of STAG cricket ground. Along the better view of a lake, a wonderful venue to watch the game of cricket. In case if it is winter, it's a delight and spectacular view to watch the game of cricket. Another wonderful single. And speaking about the pitch condition, there is a bit of grass in the middle. I see both Riya Srikanth and Rupali. Of course, Rupali is a spinner. She can't test much of those green grasses. But for Riya, she have to try those green grasses. Probably a back of length delivery or a bouncer would be quite interesting to watch out for, because those areas were still untouched. You could get a bit of extra bounce over there if you try bowling in the cross seam. So those bouncers might sometimes push the batter into the back foot. It's a survival delivery sometimes, it's an attacking delivery sometimes, but you have to bowl bouncers, especially when you're having a green grass at the middle of the wicket. That's 6 overs, 3 overs each for the bowlers. 13 and 12 are the numbers. and 1 wicket for Riyaz Shrikant. 6 overs 26 for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Six for 1. Change of bowling here. Vinoda as the new bowler. Bowler number 3. An off spinner. Just trying to bowl the spin attack by having a close keeper behind the stumps. Will be an interesting approach to watch out for, just because of one reason. If you're facing spinners continuously, you have to stretch yourself well. You have to get closer to the ball. Whereas while facing the fast bowlers, you'll be given a bit of merit to play reluctant stroke makings. Starts off with an arm ball. And speaking about this pitch condition, we played a couple of cricket matches here. We've seen a lot more cricket matches here as a commentator. Myself, Bharat Sivalingam, as the voice of this tournament. Speaking about the quality of STAG cricket grounds pitch, I can hardly remember my first match here 2017. I was a left arm spinner back then, of course, even though I'm a left arm spinner. My first ball went on to be a clean bowled. Imagine the kind of happiness that I would have got playing in a new venue and getting a wicket in the very first ball I'm bowling. That's the kind of support this wicket gives you. Just because of one reason, it's getting on really well, especially when you're bowling arm balls and top spinners. It'll help the spinners a lot. But along with that, one of my friend who's a hit the deck fast bowler who got 5 in his very first game here. So that shows these two different approaches. Especially this pitch number 1 has something for the fast bowlers and spinners. If you are a fast bowler, do a complete justice for fast bowling. If you are a spinner, do a complete justice for spin bowling. This wicket will offer something for you. That's the formula of STAG cricket ground, one of the top quality cricket grounds in Chennai in terms of turf maintenance. 4 different pitches, most of them were having covering of grasses, cracks on the middle. As the ultimate goal of STAG cricket grounds pitch curators is to compete with Chepak's quality. As you know how Chepak reacts at the spin bowling condition most of the times, but now in this tournament it seems like a flat track. So similar to Chepak's quality, STAG cricket ground were working really hard to make it such a quality wicket. A sweep shot, good save at the skyleg region, and that's one of the solid reasons for a lot more cricket tournaments were happening here. STAG cricket ground is one of the most preferable spots to play the game of cricket. It's quite interesting with the way how she's navigating the ball. In fact, it's Vinoda who's deciding where the run should be scored. Just 2 runs coming off it. That's 28 for 1 Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Satvika, the new bowler. Bowler number 4. Another spinner, of course. Seems like a leggy here this time. A wonderful paddle sweep from Janita. And that goes for the boundary. An easy one, proper pickup. She didn't do nothing out of the box. She just played for the merit of the ball. That's most important. Bowler number 4. Back another spinner, of course. A wonderful leggy here this time. Most important thing, a wonderful paddle sweep. Grounded stroke from Janita. She had a deep square leg fielder, but she had no chance to stop that going for the boundary. That's 32 for 1. Good shot from Janita. And a warm welcome to Satvika. Welcome to STAG Cricket Ground. Welcome to the quarter final of Iron Lady Trophy season number 7. The challenges will be very, very high. And this time it's quite good to watch out for with the way how she bowled. I was about to speak about this run rate factor because it was 4.47 and you're playing in the quarter-final round and you're facing one of the most prominent opposition, unbeaten opposition, Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. It's very appreciable effort from Smiling Pearls. They were containing the run rate 4.36. And whereas for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy, of course, they're having solid bowling attack, but at the same time, it's always important to be at the top of the bowlers or at the top of the opposition's game plan. You should be way ahead of their approach, or else you might be locking yourself to a certain zone where Smiling Pearls will be taking control of your opposition. Now the wonderful use of the feet, proper placement, just goes for the single. And the scoreboard is keep on moving. Just because of one reason, they're trying to reach the length of the ball. Nothing out of the box helps you as a batter in such a spin friendly conditions. Another dot ball. She's flighting the ball really well, Satvika. Despite of the lines that were not much favoring to her, she have to do a lot more homework for that factor. But at the same time, the guts of a bowler, because she had conceded a boundary in the very first ball, yet she's coming up with a flighted delivery again and again. Look at that. Another loophole delivery. But this time was not much impactful connection, but still it goes for the boundary. Could you believe this? What a proper placement it is. Probably she's using the pace of the bowler. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Another loophole delivery. Might be going for single, but this time was not much impactful connection. But still, the fielder couldn't stop that going for the boundary. 2 boundaries coming off this over. 8 overs, 37 for 1. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Vinodha continues to bowl. That's wonderful stroke making. Another proper placement. Was a good try from the fielder, but eventually goes for the boundary. Another boundary. Roshni and Janita were splashing boundaries in the middle at this point of time. Vinodha continues. Take back a look at that. Reaches the length of the ball. Not an easy one to play the ball. That's wonderful stroke making. Look at another proper play. And that's top quality women's cricket for you in Chennai. The way how she bats, it's quite interesting to watch out for. And straight away you could see the change that's happening in the middle. Slight bit of out of control. 30 of 36 partnership. Roshni, Rajashekharan and Janita. Slight bit of pressure for the bowler Vinodha. She's not interested to flight the ball, it seems as. This is the reason. This is the reason. It may be just a single, but with the way how Roshni is approaching, She somehow finds ways to reach the length of the ball. The footwork she's having is wonderful, despite of the height factor. Now she's into the 20s. If she maintains same stamina, if she maintains same stability and character on the field, she could score a lot more runs on the board. Could stop at the deep, could stop at the point fielder position. Couple of runs coming in every single over. This is not an advisable approach from Smiling Pearls, and that's why this question arrives. Should they continue with Ria or Rupali, any of those bowlers? Should they try completing a spell of any of those key bowlers? I don't think so, because I believe in the game plan and the process of Smiling Pearls. They were saving those overs of Ria and Rupali for the upcoming overs, probably at the death overs are the most crucial phase of the innings. Or for instance, if you're having a key batter who's scoring a lot more runs on the board, then at that point of time the skipper might be using Rupali to face the challenging positions. 9 overs up, that's 45 for 1. (45 for 1). Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. I'm not sure about what's running on the thoughts of Abdul Malik Cricket Academy, because they've been improving the run rate gradually in the past couple of overs. Seems like they were still cool and pretty relaxed with the way how they're approaching this batting lineup. Of course, it's 9 overs, 45 for 1, 54 balls, 45 for 1, but at the same time, they are trusting in this process. They are enjoying their own brand of cricket. That's most important. Another flighted delivery. Again a cheeky single. I think Smiling Pearls should place their fielders as close as possible, as these two batters, Roshni and Janita, were stealing runs on the board. It's not always about scoring boundaries, it's about stealing runs sometimes. You have to take those cheeky singles to make sure that you're moving the scoreboard regularly. And of course, it adds a lot more pressure for the bowler. Satvika continues to bowl. Another interesting delivery, but still they find some ways to score the runs on the board. Now what happens is, the bowler bowls a wonderful delivery. Of course, she gets the reward by pushing the batter to go for some cheeky pushes here and there. But where it impacts the game is, it's not converting into a dot ball. Imagine if it becomes a couple of dot balls and she is bowling to the same batter again and again, then the confidence factor of the bowler will keep on increasing. Another wonderful sweep shot. This time the placement was perfect, but that is a player at the deep. That's wonderful sweep shot anyway. We know that continues. She plays factor of the bowler will keep on increasing. Look at that. Look, another wonderful sweep shot. This time that finish showed class on the way how Janita played the shot. Back to strike. Singles every single ball. Now Roshni on strike with Satvika trying to take that one dot ball to push the batters under pressure, but they were not under pressure now. They were taking things under control. There is a player at the deep. Will be just a single. And these were the phases where the bowling side should try something new or something out of the box to break the partnership. As this partnership grows gradually, seems like Abdul Malik Cricket Academy were looking so solid and confident at this point of time, halfway through the first innings. Continues to bowl Satvika with 2 more to complete the 10th over. Can we see some magic happening in the middle? Nothing happens, just pushes the single. Definitely they have to restrict runs on the board. A dot ball went on to be 2 runs on the board just because of those reluctant fielding approaches and overthrows. The in-circle fielder should be well aware of those cheeky singles. They have to try restricting the oppositions from rotating the strike. One more to end this over at Satvika. Continues to bowl 51 for 1 Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. They were into the 50s now. Flight to delivery. No signals from Mani, the on-field umpire. Dot ball to end this over. That's 51 for 1. And now thus this brings us to the hydration break in the middle. 51 for 1 Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Fifty-one for 1 Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Saranya Kannan, the new bowler, bowler number 5. And of course, the attack continues, moving on with spinners again and again. A flight to delivery. In fact, a way high flight to delivery, almost 7 plus more feet. Who's looking much more confident? That's the biggest question here. Because we've seen a couple of boundaries in the middle, but we are watching some solid decisions. This is an invitation for the boundary, and Roshni will never stop such balls to go. Look at that. Look at the placement. We've seen a couple of boundaries in the middle. Should have stopped. Look at solid decisions. She had a lot more time to score the boundary, and eventually that Roshni will never stop such balls. To is a region that gets a lot more runs on the board, especially when it comes to boundaries. And that's the area where they have to work on, the smiling pearls. And speaking about the confidence factor, both Roshni and Janita were scoring boundaries again and again in every single over. And along with that, we are watching smiling pearls by moving some changes, making some changes gradually, which shows the kind of quality and the clarity that they are having in this game. So it's about neutralizing effort at the first 10 overs of the first innings, but anything could happen in the next 10 overs, because that has, in the modern terms, the so-called death overs, the so-called middle overs. Probably we're in the middle of the middle overs. The next 4 overs would be crucial for the wicket column. A smiling pearl should target on the wicket column. The wonderful flighted delivery. She's such a gutsy bowler. But whereas when you're having slow and pace and you're flighting the ball really well, That doesn't mean just you're gutsy, but at the same time you're having something to say to the batter, probably the game plan or the trap that you're creating for the batter. Eventually this flight, I could hear the comment of the wicketkeeper. She's actually asking the bowler to flight the ball really well. Imagine if a batter gets triggered for that flight to deliver and she tries to go for the big shot. Eventually there are a lot of possibilities of her losing her wicket. So flighting the ball as slow as possible is something, a temptation for most of the batters to go for the big shot, and that's the biggest success of flighting bowlers like Yuzvendra Chahal. Sometimes you have to invite them to go for the big shots. The best example would be Johan Botha of South Africa, who loves to flight the ball again and again. That's a temptation that most of the batters gets against Johan Botha. That's 11 overs 58 for 1, Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Pushing through the covers into the 30s now, Roshni. Within that middle, we've seen Kausalya, a new bowler again, shuffling the bowlers, probably out of the game plan. Probably if plan A is not working, you should go with the plan B. Like that, another wonderful shot, a proper placement. It's not about numbers sometimes. Sometimes it goes for singles and boundaries. But the quality that that particular shot in the middle. But we are watching some solid never go out of your control. Look at this. Like that. Look, another wonderful shot, a proper placement. Found the fielder. It's not about, but quality is up to the mark. End of 12 overs, 64 for 1. And B. Like that. Another wonderful shot. A proper placement. It's not about numbers sometimes. Sometimes it goes for singles and boundaries. And B. Like that. Another wonderful shot. A proper placement. It's not about numbers sometimes. Sometimes it goes for singles and boundaries. And B. Like that. Another one. 64 for 1. Roshni into her 30s. I've been speaking about. I'm not much into the milestones, but sometimes, for a growing cricketer, especially for a top order batter, it's always about the numbers. Another wonderful shot, that is. Proper placement. Fielder at the deep, of course, it's a T20 format. You'll be having a long on. If needed, a long off fielder. But as of now, Saranya Kannan is having a long on, deep mid wicket, and a deep square leg fielder. And she's having a sweeper cover at the deep. I don't see a long off fielder as mid off inside the circle. She's having 5 fielders standing within the 30-yard circle. Strong shout. Missing down the leg, says the on-field umpire Kishore. Having a lot more experience. He's the regular on-field umpire for more big occasions of this tournament. And we've been speaking about the milestones into the 30s and into the 20s. That's just because of the kind of motivation that a particular cricketer gets. Imagine if Roshni scores a half century. Now the paddle sweep beats the fielder. Or probably if Janita scores a half century. Will be really appreciable stuff for them. And of course that could be carried well in the upcoming matches too. And I strongly believe that if a particular batter focuses on milestone and rest of the team tries to score a lot more runs and the team performs really well. The thing is, another wonderful shot. We'll come back to that, but this time it's a proper placement and goes for the boundary. No chance for the fielder to stop that going for the boundary. Another wonderful stroke making. A proper placement, that's most important. No chance for the extra cover fielder or this mid-off fielder to stop that going for the boundary. Good work from Roshni again. There should be some sort of stabilities, and we've been speaking about one batter's milestonic mindset. That mindset sets a tone for many batting sides. Not the right approach here. She's getting carried away with what she done in the previous delivery. Good work from Saranya Kannan. 13 overs of that 70 for 1 Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. $70 for 1 Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. For Janita and Roshni, both the batters were setting tones. Kaushalya continues to bowl as the current run rate increases to 5.38 and the projected score shows 108. I'm not sure about controlling the runs on the board because anything might happen at the second innings, and Abdul Malik Cricket Academy should try to shift the gears to the next level. At this point of time they were in the third gear. Now they should transform for the fourth gear. It's a transition period for them, probably after the 15th over. But looking at the way how the run rate flows, looking at the wicket column, They're having 9 more wickets in the hand, so a lot more stability for them, and they could score a lot more runs on the board. Another wonderful fly to delivery. No chance of going for the singles. Quite good bowling performance from Smiling Pearls. And that's the beauty of T20 cricket, and that's the beauty of this particular game. Both the sides were having a proper track record, a successful track record in this tournament. And now these two teams faces each other. The phases were being won by the teams. For instance, phase number 1, phase number 2, phase number 3, like that. Another wonderful shot attempt. Couldn't pick the gap as there is a player at the deep. Just trying to focus on the gaps. And speaking about the impact of dominating a particular phase, couple of overs before, it was the batting side who was dominating this innings. Even now they're having in a comfortable position, but at the same time, Smiling Pearls have entered into this game at this point of time. Especially Kausalya is bowling really good, challenging them with a flight. Seems like a time for the wicket column. The partnership might get broken at this point of time. Slight a bit of desperation and the kind of confidence that Kausalya is having. You can expect some magic to happen. Will be just a single. Good thing is she's trying to reach the length of the ball before approaching her stroke. And she's trying to play as late as possible. That's another big strength of Roshni. She's in 38 now, just 12 more runs for her well-deserving half-century. Now on strike Janita. She was busy right from the beginning. Now she's taking some break from acting so busy. Pushes just a single. Seems like a lengthy over, but in terms of numbers, it's quite controlled over for them. No boundaries in this over so far. That's the biggest positive for Smiling Pearls at this point of time. Can we see a wicket in this delivery? No chance of that, as Roshni is having complete control. Because I thought at the point of time she might be going for a lofted shot, but she's having complete control on batting. That's 14 overs, 75 for 1, Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Now the key bowler, Rupali, to bowl her last over. 3 overs, 12 for 0. No wicket for Rupali today. But she was a wonderful bowler so far in this tournament, continuing to bowl her last over. She will bat well too. She will try to score some runs on the board. Can we see the partnership getting broken? That's the reason why the skipper have introduced Rupali at this point of time in the 15th over. Wonderful shape holded by Rupali. Proper placement through the covers. Good stop to save a couple of runs for her side. And speaking about the dominance of left arm spinners in this tournament, They've dominated in different levels of cricket, right from the T20 format to the Test cricket to the T10 formats too. That's just because of the kind of adaptations that they made to the game. You can't just stick with the same formula again and again. For instance, cricketers of 2000s but different style of left arm spinners like Jayasuriya and Yuvraj Singh. But the times have changed when Jadeja started bowling at a speed of 95 and above. Now it's hundreds, as you could see. Krunal Pandya kind of bowlers, Akshar Patel of course were bowling really well with the arm balls. So as being a left arm spinner, it doesn't matter that you have to adapt to the new conditions, you have to bowl the arm ball to survive as a left arm spinner. It's about your own understanding of the game, your own perseverance of the game, and that's wonderful turn. That is bit of turn for the bowler, and she's still making magics. Unfortunately, you could see only 4 overs for a key bowler. This is T20 format. You can't expect Rupali to bowl a next over. And speaking about the impact of spinners, Yuzvendra Chahal is a big example of sticking on what you want to do or sticking on what you feel is right, rather than going with the generation, rather than going with the format. It's always better to be you on the field. I think Rupali is bowling a lot more flighted deliveries. The pace that she maintains is rhythmic but a bit of slow. That's end of 15 overs. It's 77 for 1. As you could see, the on-field umpire Kishore signals for the drinks. The batting scorecard, Roshni into the 40s and Janita into 24. Last 5 overs, the so-called death overs. But before that, a hydration break in the middle. Vinoda S continues to bowl. A wonderful push through the covers into the back foot, in fact into the point direction. Starts off with a single. Cuts it for the single. Couple of runs on the board. These 5 overs are going to describe the match story. What's going to be the end total? What's going to be the target here for Smiling Pearls, who won the toss? So everything will be decided in the next 5 overs. That's in the air, trying to make it a big attempt, but that went on to be a dismissal. What a celebration. Look at the smile on the faces. Not an easy one to take on, as Janita wanted to make it bigger but couldn't make the impact that she was looking for. A flighted delivery invited her for the big shot. And look at that celebration that we are speaking about. Finally, the partnership broken. Vinoda gets a first wicket. That's 79 for 2. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. And Janita walks back to the pavilion for 25 runs. Sushantika C, the new batter. In at number 4 for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy, 79 for 2. Last 27 deliveries, that's going to decide what's going to be the end total. I prefer that 120 would be a good total at the end of 20 overs at this point of time, because of the kind of start that they've got, the partnership that they made in the middle overs. Because less than 120, probably if you're posting something like 105 or 108, it might be an easy job for Smiling Pearls. They've been looking for that. That's one of those reasons why they have decided to bowl first. So it's up to the batters of Abdul Malik Cricket Academy for the next 27 balls. A full toss delivery, punished hard but couldn't make impact. Drop catch, that is. 2-minute dramas in the middle. Should have taken but went for the boundary. Positive start for the batter, Sushantika. Look at that. And there it went on to be the drop catch. And eventually goes for the boundary. In fact, sixer it seems. To be very honest, it will be a real frustration for Vinoda, because back-to-back wickets would be a different kind of intensity. Now Sushantika will be in a good confidence zone. She will try going for even much bigger strokes. Strong appeal and the fingers goes up. On-field umpire money dismisses. And that's wicket number 2 for Vinoda. You could see that smile now. The smile that she was looking for. Sushantika, a short cameo, came in, scored a sixer which went on to be a drop catch, and now walking back to the pavilion. Couldn't make much impact out of it. Look at that shout, and straight away the fingers goes up. And that smile shows everything. 85 for 3 now, Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Dikshana, the new batter in at number 5 for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Straight away there is a slip fielder. Attacking intent here from Vinoda. Last ball to end this over. Dot ball to end this over. 8 runs coming off it and 2 wickets in this over. That's 85 for 3 Abdul Malik Cricket Academy after 16 overs. .85 for 3 Abdul Malik Cricket Academy after 16 overs. Now this leads up to the different kind of pressure for the batting side. They have to score a lot more runs on the board. 24 balls in the hand, and you must score 35 or more to make sure that you're posting a decent total on the board. For instance, if it is 120 or more, would be interesting to watch it far with the way how Abdul Malik Cricket Academy are going to fight in the next innings. Whereas for Smiling Pearls, anything below 110, as of what we're speaking about, will be interesting to chase on. Similarly, that's something they would have looked while deciding to bowl first. So that's quite successful decision for them. Satvika, 2 overs, 15, 0 wickets. And this player, Roshni, into her 40s. She saw every drama happen in the previous over at the non-cousin. Now she is on strike. The responsibility of making it a big score, trying to go for the big shot. She is taking up the responsibility, but there is no much connection in the middle, which went on to be wicket number 4 as Roshni's well fought 41 coming to an end. Good catch and good celebration. Smiling faces everywhere. Stepped out but couldn't make much impact. Look at that. Look at the balance when she got the ball, and that celebration. That is something unique about Smiling Pearls. They've been celebrating everything on the field despite of what happens next. 41 of 55. Roshni, wonderful innings coming to an end. That's 85 for 4 Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Harini, the new batter, in at number 6 here for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Satvika finally got her first wicket by dismissing one of the key batters of Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. That went on to be a challenging stuff for them if she continued to play for the next 4 overs. I think at this phase, the last 5 overs have been almost under the control of Smiling Pearls. Not much runs on the board. Maybe just because of the pressure of how the format have been treated so far by the previous generation. That's one of those reasons. Because, for instance, if you're watching a lot more matches on televisions or in front of you, you could see cricketers trying to go for bigger lofted shots to score runs on the board in the last 5 overs. So keeping that in mind, it's not mandatory to go for the lofted shots in the last 5 overs. It's about adding a lot more productivity to the game. If you could be able to score 12 runs by scoring 6 twos in the over, then no need to go for the big shots via lofted strokes. So that's quite important. Or else you can go for some cheeky attempts like scoop shots, paddle sweeps, or a reverse sweep through the covers, splashing through the covers mid-off inside the circle. You could go over the mid-off fielder's head. So that's how the player should focus on the productivity in case if the lofted shot idea is not working really well for them. Deekshana. Another wonderful delivery from Satvika. At her third over, she dismissed one of the key batters and bowling couple of dot balls and economical spill, which is not advisable for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy at this point of time. Trying to go for the big shot but couldn't make much impact out of it. Will be just a single. And she is getting off the mark with that single, Deekshana. I think something is going out of their way now for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Final couple of runs when not coming on the board. Probably 8 to 10 runs in an over by scoring a lot more runs with the grounded strokes. It's an attacking field here for Satvika as she's having both mid-off and mid-on inside the circle. Down the ground, going over the head of the bowler will be a good option. Couldn't make much impact out of it. This is such a wonderful over, turning out to be one of the greatest overs of this day. Just 2 runs coming off it and the important wicket of the day. Right, the last ball of Satvika's third over. Another solid delivery. Such a wonderful talent she is. Satvika completes this over just by conceding 2 runs and a key wicket. 88 for 4 after 17. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. $88 for 4. Unnecessary runs were coming on the middle. I couldn't see Riya Srikanth continuing to bowl. We've seen Rupa completed her spell, but Riya Srikanth is still having overs to bowl. Vinoda to bowl her last over. 2 wickets for the bowler. She's one of the key bowlers of the day. Seems like the triple digit score will be really challenging for them. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy, they must try scoring a couple of runs on the board. It's about pushing the bowlers into the back foot. It's not about just going for the big sixers. Score singles and twos and push the bowler into the back foot, and then eventually you will get ways to score runs on the board. Strong shout from Vinoda. And speaking about the field positioning, it seems like quite a bit of attacking field positioning. Mid-off and mid-on inside the circle, covers, extra covers, cover point. There is a point fielder. Trying to go for the big shot. Not much impactful stroke makings, will be just a single. So this seems like Abdul Malik Cricket Academy were having a long tail, it seems. It may be an advantage for them to an extent because, for instance, if you're having a lot more bowlers, for instance 6 to 7 good bowlers to bowl, but you should have something in front of you to fight against such a kind of totals. Even though if you're having a good bowlers, you should have something in front of you. And the bails were flying off, as you could see that clearly coming on the picture. Vinoda gets a third one. A simple celebrations. That's 90 for 5. As you could see, Deekshana tried to play something out of the box. Such a wonderful delivery. A flighted Yorker, in fact. Vinoda. Third wicket for the bowler with 2 more to go. Walks back to the pavilion. Deekshana couldn't make much impact in this game. That's 90 for 5. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. 90 for 5. We know there are 2 more to go. Can we see a 5-4? I know it's quite overthinking, but at the same time, there are a lot of possibilities. Harshika, the new batter, in at number 7. Good positioning, having a typical backlift faces the first slip. Played through the covers. That's actually reaching at the point fielder. Couldn't make much impact out of it. This turns out to be another wonderful over. Just 2 runs coming off it and a wicket. What happens to Abdul Malik Cricket Academy at the end phase of this innings? After the dismissal of Roshni, probably after the breaking of the first wicket partnership, things were not supportive for them. But the dot ball to end this over. That's 18 overs, 90 for 5. And that's how the bowling card, you could say Riyash Srikanth one more to bowl. And couple of bowlers completed, including Vinoda, 3 for 20 in 4 overs. Satvika to bowl her last over. Another flighted delivery. As you could see, nothing much comes in the board. Seems like a long tail for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Good homework done by the Pearls. What they did is they kept on focusing on the wicket column, and that's one of those reasons why Roshni played such a solid innings for the second wicket. The partnership was very high, because when you have not much impactful tail ending, you're having some 4 to 5 good batters, then you can't explore much with those batters, because they don't have much freedom to explore themselves. They don't have much freedom to throw their bat, as rest of the batters couldn't be able to much impact in the death overs. That's what exactly happening here for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Harini and Harshika were having their basics right. They could bat well, but they are not regular batter. That's the problem. Most of the times, cricketers who play middle orders or the lower middle orders or the all-rounders, they pretty much focuses on the bowling departments, and what happens is sometimes if you're having a long tail, this is what happens. That's in the air, and that's wonderful catch taken. As you could see the celebration, Satvika gets a second wicket. No mistakes done by the fielders of Smiling Pearl so far in today's game. This is one among them trying to play against the spin, and that's a wonderful catch taken by Satvika to dismiss Harini. As Harini walks back to the pavilion, 91 for 6 now, Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Shakti Maya, the new batter, straight away started off scoring a couple of runs on the board to get off the mark. This is pretty much important for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. 0 extras so far in this innings, 6 boundaries and a sixer. Even that sixer went on to be a drop catch. Such a controlled and disciplined bowling performance from Smiling Pearls. Gets a bit of thickish outside edge. Will be just a single. And the biggest problem here is the potential to rotate the scoreboard, because we didn't see much singles coming off in the past couple of overs. The last 5 overs have been completely dominated by Smiling Pearls. Not much impactful performances. With one more to complete this over, 2 for 21 so far, Satvika. And that's a number for her after her 4 overs. 19 overs, it's 94 for 6. With one more to go, what would be the final total at the end of 20 overs? Let's wait and watch Abdul Malik Cricket Academy, 94 for 6. For 6. With one more to go, Riya Srikanth with no doubt as this bowler, one of the key bowlers of the side. A genuine in-swinging pacer. She broke the initial partnership at the beginning of the innings at the power play. Now to serve her side at the death overs. Still, she's having a bit of movement, it seems, Riya Srikanth. Such a wonderful bowler to watch out for. With 5 more to complete this over, we've been speaking about 110s and 115s. It seems like 100 is quite impossible for them unless they go for some good shots at the last over. With 5 more to go. Still a bit of movement and the fingers goes up as this is an in-swinging delivery. You can't stop that going for the stump. Shakti Maya's quick cameos coming to an end. 3 of just 3 deliveries. And that's wicket number 2 for Riya Srikanth. This is what we've been speaking about. Mani straight away took his fingers for the wicket dismissal. That's 94 for 7, Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Another wicket here. As you could see, Riya Srikanth gets a third one, and that smile, 1 million hearts. She's not much celebrative type, but you know, that she says, I earned the wicket. Look at that. Another in-swinging delivery, still a bit of movement, and that hits the off stump. And then that smile. Ended this innings. 94 for 8 now. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy walks back to the pavilion without scoring. Three more to end the first innings. 2 more to complete the innings of Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Riya Srikanth. Such a wonderful performance from her. Another one. Another clean bowled. And that's hat-trick it is for Riya Srikanth. Back-to-back wickets. Shreya, the new batter, came in. Couldn't stop that invading the stumps. She is such a wonder. Look at that. Look at that. Even she's getting shocked. That smile. What happens in the middle. That's what the reaction says it all. That's the end of the first innings. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy, 94 for 9. With this particular bowler, Riya Srikanth, getting 4 wickets. There is a bit of discussions were going on in the middle. And the on-field umpire Kishore gets up to the conclusion that the innings is coming to an end. 94 for 9 is the final score in this first innings for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. If Smiling Pearls are pretty happy with what they've did so far in this game, they will continue with that by trying to chase down the target of 95 to win this game. But before moving up to the second innings stories, we have to speak about the quality performers of the day. We've seen a lot more top quality bowling performances, starting from the bowler who picked up a hat-trick. 4 wickets for Riya Srikanth. All of them went on to be swinging deliveries, with the first one went on to be an outswinger for the right-handed batter, as Janani lost her wicket to Riya Srikanth. 13 for 4 from Riya Srikanth. Rupali bowled 4 overs, 15 for 0. Vinoda, 3 wickets for Vinoda, 20 for 3. For Satvika, it is 2 wickets, 21 for 2. And Sharanya Kannan and Kausalya have contributed the innings. Overall, it's 6 bowler attack with Riya Srikanth and Vinoda topping the wicket column. 94 for 9 with 10 runs as extras. Such a wonderful bowling performance. 95 the target here. 95 the target here for Smiling Pearls, who have won the toss, and they bowled really well in the first innings to restrict the opposition for 94. I just want to remind you that Abdul Malik Cricket Academy is unbeaten so far in this tournament, with Riyaz Srikanth and Rupali with the openers, with the two key bowlers of the side. They opened the innings in their first ball, with Riyaz Srikanth being a fast bowler, in-swinging fast bowler, picked up 4 wickets and a hat-trick in the last over of the previous innings. Whereas Rupali, a typical left-arm spinner who trying to create a lot more impact on the game. A collaborative effort from Smiling Pearls bowlers to get this target. 95 is not much way high target, but just one thing that pushes Abdul Malik Cricket Academy high is they have defended 75 in the same venue against a different opposition, of course, but at the same time they have this confidence of defending low targets. So will be interesting to watch out for the second innings. First ball of the second innings, Smiling Pearls facing. Janita starts off with a wonderful good length delivery, pushes for the single, gets off the mark with that single. Riyaz Srikanth, I think she's not going for the single, it seems. Starts off with a dot ball it is. I'm still in the first innings with the way how Abdul Malik Cricket Academy batters rotated the strike. Good way to start the innings, Janita. Strong appeal. And no chance of that being a dismissal, misses down the leg. It's pretty important for both the batters, like the way how they created a big partnership between themselves, Riya and Rupali. In fact, both the bowlers, in fact now they are batters now, both the batters have to build the same partnership in this innings. It's pretty important for Smiling Pearls, as they were almost halfway with a better performance in this game. If it continues in the second innings, there are a lot of possibilities of Smiling Pearls winning this game. A lot to speak here. She's looking at the V form of the bat, Rupali. And these were the discipline zones of a quality batter. Some cricketers like Chateshwar Pujara, even in the international standards, after playing over a decade for the nation, they still follow this V form of batting, as the V grip allows the batter to play in the 360-degree form and trying to play most safest strokes on the ground. Look at that. For every single ball she's watching that V form. That's something that describes the quality of a batter. Couldn't make much impact out of it. Chance of that being a stumping. This gives a hint for the wicketkeeper that they can move the wicketkeeper forward behind the stumps. There are a lot of possibilities of dismissing the batter by stumping. One more to end this over. Just single run in this over. Slight bit of movement from Janita. That's a wonderful over coming to an end. 1 for no loss, Smiling Pearls. One for no loss, Smiling Pearls. Strike rate or run rate doesn't matter in this innings. It's all about the wicket column. You shouldn't let your tailenders to come on to bat. So the only key factor to win this game would be maintaining a big partnership. Partnerships are the big factors to win the game. Especially these two batters, Riya and Rupali. They can take whatever the time that they require. But all they must do is to ensure that they are winning this game without losing much wickets in the innings. Roshni, the new bowler, a different kind of approach from Abdul Malik Cricket Academy comparing to the Smiling Pearls. As we've seen, they had only one pacer, Riyaz Srikanth. The rest of the bowlers were spinners. Right from the new ball, they had Rupali, the left-arm spinner. But whereas For Abdul Malik Cricket Academy, they were using two fast bowlers with Janita at the open end, and now Roshni is bowling at the pavilion end. She played such a wonderful innings in this first innings. She was a kind of lone warrior. She fought really well. As long as Roshni stood in the crease, there were a lot of expectations on Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. Now she is with the ball. She will try hard to create the same kind of impact, same kind of responsibility that she had in the previous innings. Quite controlled bowling performance, just bowling at the right areas, attacking the stumps again and again would be having a lot more value for them. And yes, speaking about the pitch conditions, it's hot, humid conditions. There are a lot of possibilities of the wickets getting dry, and there are a lot of possibilities of us watching the cracks forming on the conditions. But this being a fresh morning, just 21.3 overs played so far in this game, so this is not going to impact much on the game. That's because what you've seen in the first innings is going to react even in the second innings. Maybe you can expect some changes in the next day's game. Probably it may turn a bit better, or probably it may slow down as the condition gets drier and cracker. On Monday and Tuesday, definitely this condition is going to offer a lot more for the slow pacers and spinners. But as of today's game, it's quite hard conditions, good reflections from the bowlers. You can trust the bounce in these conditions. Steadiness will be a special factor at STAG cricket ground. So keeping that in mind, both Rupali and Riya Srikanth should play some fearless cricket by building the partnership to the next level as dot balls leads to the breakthroughs. And this is such a wonderful bowling attack from Roshni, coming to an end. 2 for no loss. Two for no loss. Smiling Pearls for taking their own time in the middle, but Janita continues to bowl. Trying to find the aerial route as the mid-off and mid-on fielders chasing down the ball. No chance of them stopping the ball going for the boundary. A welcome boundary here for the Smiling Pearls. First boundary of the second innings. This comes from the bats of Riya Srikanth. Look at that stroke. I won't say it's a better stroke, but the mid-off and mid-on fielders were standing inside the circle, and that's one of those reasons she got this boundary better. Riya Srikanth is showing some intent. And you know, the secret trap here, or something that you could understand here, is both Janita and Roshni were trying to attack the stumps. So it's a one-way attack. You can't expect a bouncer, you can't expect a short ball, you can't expect the bowler to push you into the back foots. So it's about them inviting you into the front foot by bowling at the stump line attack. So keeping prepared to that, they can go for a lot more straight shots. This time a risky placement between the mid-on and mid-wicket fielder. That goes for the boundary. Boundary number 2 in this over as Riya Srikanth continues to show that intent that she is looking for. Look at that. Look at the placement. A risky placement between these two fielders, and that eventually goes for the boundary. Went on to be an expensive over, pushing Janita under pressure. Riya Srikanth is actually relieving the pressure out of Rupali, who is 0 of 7 balls, struggling hard to get off the mark. So this kind of relieves pressure and adds a lot more pressure for the bowler. This one, another proper placement. Even much better shot to watch out for. Boundary number 3 in this over as Riya Srikanth is showing a solid intent in the middle. Look at the placement between the backward point and the gully fielder. Just beats the fielders comfortably and races out of the boundary ropes. Such a complete cricketer, Riya Srikanth, and that's one of those reasons why she is rated one among the top cricketers of this tournament. the Iron Lady season trophy season number 7. Quite good control from Janita. Now she is pushing the batters. She's altering her lengths now. Rupali back on strike. No run rate pressure now. 15 for no loss. As Riya Srikanth is taking care of certain things in this ground. Now Rupali can take her own time to get herself in the comfort zone. That's quite cheeky. A single to get off the mark, which brings the end of this over. That's 14 runs coming off this over. 16 for no loss after 3 overs. Three over 16 for no loss. As Roshni continues to bowl. Now I'm expecting a lot more from Roshni, as the previous one went on to be an expansive over. Will it be the resemblance of the previous over, or will it be the full stop to what happened in the previous over? As the first over of Roshni went on to be an excellent spell, she tried attacking the leg stump again and again. Now the key factor here is the head position of Rupali that we have to speak about, because she's naturally falling on the offside. She's actually tilting her head slightly on the mid-off region, and that's the reason when bowled at the stumps line, she's finding it hard to rotate the striker Rupali. Now Riya Srikanth on strike. A cheeky placement, proper timing. Beats the fielder at the short fine leg region. That eventually goes for the boundary. Another boundary. It's boundary number 4 for Riya Srikanth. And she is unstoppable. Look at that placement. There's no chance for that fielder, which eventually goes for the boundary. That's 21 for no loss. Boundary number 4. 16 runs game of boundaries for Riya Srikanth. Her parents, family members, friends must be very proud of her batting. Of course the coach, but never shows on his face. Look at the quality. But this is not enough. She has to play throughout the innings. She has to complete the game. That defines the quality of a batter. You can't contribute. You can't give an impact in the game. But the one who finishes the game, but the one who wins the match will be remembered for a very long time. Now, she played a wonderful cameo. She created a small impact in the initial phase. What Riya should do is to continue this momentum, to continue this style of work again and again until she ends the game. Now the invitation from Roshni, come on, hit me for a boundary. And Riya says, no, I'm not interested. I just wanted to get it as a white ball. Interesting to see with the way how Roshni lost her line comparing to her previous over. This is different Roshni altogether, because the first over bowled by Roshni was quite impressive. She was spectacular with her performance. Misfields will never be accepted at this level of cricket, as all these cricketers were well trained, and this of course happens in a part of game, but you know, for a set batter you're giving a lot more opportunities to get herself comfortable on the wicket. It's boundary number 5 for Riya Srikanth. Second in this over, and you could see frustrated Roshni walking back disappointed. The most important reason in Chennai, the main culprit here is the condition. It's very hot and humid. As the cricketers, it's really challenging for them, and you can't blame the cricketers for silly mistakes. You know, at this point of time, in hot humid conditions, you're trying to bowl a good length delivery, and it eventually went on to be a boundary just because of it's a misfield. Imagine the frustration that the bowler has. And that's why cheers were much more important in a day cricket. The hotness, the humidity, the pressure, the heat. You have to face all these things with a kind of motivation which comes from the throat of a wicketkeeper and around all the fielders. Come on, or whatever the game tone that you're having. Because cricket has become a lot more regional, and cheers have become a lot more regional. So probably this is happening in Chennai. The cheers must be in Tamil. So they must be cheering themselves. Come on, ninna aadu paathukalam, ninnu podu. That's a good length. Unakku wicket kandipa varum. That's the kind of words the wicketkeeper and rest of the fielders within the 30-yard circle should speak, or else the bowlers will get desperate. This is another invited delivery for the pull shot, and that's taken for granted from Rupali. This time it's Rupali gets a first boundary, and it's an easy invitation. Look at that. At the last moment, she used the cross bat to score that boundary. No chance for the deep spine leg fielder to stop that. Going for the boundary. 4 overs, 32 for no loss. Smiling Pearls. Smiling Pearls 32 for no loss. After 4 overs with Riya Srikanth 23 of 13 balls and Rupali 6 of 11. Tikshana, the new bowler, a change of bowling from Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. First time we're watching a spinner in this innings. I think I have to add a lot more point with this, the style of batting that they are having. The sensation now in IPL 2024, it's Travis Head, with the way how he's scoring boundaries, centuries and 90s. Because of one simple reason, he's playing unconventional cricket with the confidence. Into the back foot, just punishing it hard with the crass batted stroke makings. You know, sometimes it's always better to break the grammars if it gives you a lot more runs. But you have to clarify yourself. Captains were backing their cricketers now. We've seen how Pat Cummins backed Travis Head even in the Ashes. A crash-batted cricketer, of course, into the back foot for most of the times. It's not advisable for a proper batter, but still, with that technique, he was very successful. That's just because of the backing of other cricketers, backing of the skipper. Believing factor matters a lot. So it's not just about the basics, but at the same time, I appreciate the efforts of Rupali. She's forming the V grip again and again, but it's about the intention to score runs on the board matters a lot. She's targeting the leg side and was pretty successful with that decision, which went for the boundary. No player at the deep, as there was a deep mid-wicket fielder, but she couldn't stop that going for the boundary. Take back a look at that, as mid-on fielder watching that, and the deep mid-wicket fielder will be collecting the ball after it reaches the boundary ropes. Wonderful stroke making from Rupali and Riya Srikanth. Now the focus was on Rupali. She scored a couple of boundaries in the short period of time. Good thing is her decision making. She has two sides in front of her, but after watching the ball, she immediately goes for the pull shot or cut shot, despite of how it has to be played. That control matters a lot. Look at that. At the last moment, she opened the bat face. That matters a lot. She's watching the ball really well. She's having complete control, and the decision making is spot on. That matters a lot. If you turn the ball outside the off stump, automatically the bat will open for Rupali. If you turn the ball on the leg side, she will go for the leg sided strokes. Nothing more than that. It's not a rocket science. It's a better understanding of the game and the hand-eye coordination along with that. Watching the ball till the end, that matters a lot. 58 more to win this game. With one more to end this over, Tikshana. Dot ball to end this over. Just 5 runs coming off it. 37 for no loss. Shushantika, the new bowler. Probably it's the fourth bowler, and we're watching another spinner. Now both the sides were coming onto the similar kind of approach by using a lot more spinners in this condition. So that green grass will be just for the spectators. You can just watch that simply lying on the wicket. It has nothing to do with this game, as we didn't see much hit the deck bowlers targeting the good length and back of length areas. Even Ria bowled at the fuller length areas. Through the covers, proper invitation, but no chance for the fielder to stop that, and that eventually travels to the boundary rope. Another welcome boundary. Good start for the batters, but not the right start for Shushantika. Very first ball for her. Through the covers, proper placement, came onto the length of the ball and just placed it to perfection. Wonderful stroke making from Riya Srikanth, and straight away pushing the bowler into the pressure. She's just bowling her first over. This is quite good. Not turning as of expected, flighting a lot, and slight a bit of alteration in the length. And these are the areas that a bowler should work on. Of course, you will concede runs on the board, but what's most important is you have to think on what needs to be done rather than thinking or worrying about what had happened. This time a lofted stroke making beats a fielder at the mid-off region, and will be easy boundary for Riya Srikanth. She is in a different mode of approach today. You can't just simply break down her techniques. Look at that. Never expected this would be a lofted shot. I thought she will deal with grounded strokes. So that's how she variates things. She's into the 30s now, 32 of 17 balls, Riya Srikanth, along with Rupali. Another intention to go through the covers in there. That's a thickish outside edge, as that went on to be a lucky boundary here for Riya Srikanth. Whatever she does on the field, which went on to be a favor to Smiling Pearls. They can smile a lot now, as things were completely favoring them. That's how it went for the boundary. Almost into the end of this power play. They were halfway chasing down this target. 49 now, just 46 more to win this game. 2 more to end this over. This is quite interesting to watch out for. He's very conscious in making such decisions, Riya. She's, in fact. Because what she does is, she's reaching the length of the ball. After watching the ball closely, then she finds an idea to score runs on the board. She's not blindly throwing her bat. Look at the variation. Look at the wrist positioning. With that single, that's 50 up here for Smiling Pearls. In no time it comes over there. 50 of just 36 balls. That brings us to the end of power play. It's 50 for Nola, Smiling Pearls. 50 for no loss. Such wonderful power play batting despite of what have happened in this tournament. This is a different level. This is a different pressure altogether. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy so far unbeaten side. Goes over the bowler's head. And that will just be a couple of runs in the board. This went on to be the post power play. They're having a long on. Of course, they're having a deep mid-wicket fielder. Deep square leg fielder, of course. Just 3 fielders are standing at the deep. In fact, it seems like 5-4. A full toss delivery catches the call. Lands at the no man's area. Will be just a single. Rupali just plays smart cricket, giving more strike to Riya Srikanth as she is set batter. Into the back foot, another hammering stroke making. You know, she seems like a promising cricketer. Oh, she's okay. Couple of missed fields, but doesn't damage the run flow. It was just a single. We're speaking about Riya's batting ability. With the way how she bats, how she bowls. She's a complete cricketer that matters a lot. Like Jack Carlis, like Kapil Dev, like Ian Botham. She is a complete package of a cricketer. Whatever you do, whatever you give to her, she will do it with smile. Because she has the potential to complete things. Another hammered stroke making, proper placement. Good stop at the deep. Saving couple of runs for her side. Will be just a single. But the placements were really cool to watch out for. This time it was Rupali. So she shows that she is also in good form. She also wants to score some boundaries on the board. A healthy batting partnership from these two cricketers. This time even much better stroke making. That the long on fielder have no chance to stop that going for the boundary. Riya Srikanth now into the 40, steps out, reaches the length of the ball. Look at that. The proper placement and that final walk showed that she was clear that it's going to be a boundary. 7 overs, 58 for no loss. Shanmuga Pooja conceded 8 runs in the previous over. .58 for no loss. Sushantika continues to bowl. Just a relaxed mode of cricket from Rupali, as they know that they are having complete control against the opposition at this point of time. Just 37 more runs required to win this game. Starts off with a couple of dot balls in the middle. The ideas and game plans were not working well for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy as of now in the second innings. But whereas for Smiling Pearls, they've dominated the game with the ball, with the bat. It's a package of complete performance. .43 not out. Riya Srikanth. Can we see her scoring it to be 50 or more, of course? Couple of dot balls in the middle. She's bowling at the right area, Sushantika. It seems like a flighted delivery, but it ranges at the Yorker area. Just pitching at the reach. So that flighted delivery doesn't give much room to the batters to go for the big shot as of now. She's bowling at the Yorking length. This looks quite good. Risty stroke making. And they're heading back for the second run. Good couple of runs on the board. With one more to complete this over. Just 3 runs coming off this over. Riya Srikanth to face the last ball of this over. Shushantika. Dot ball to end this over. Just 3 runs coming off it. That's 61 for no loss. .34 more to win this game. 61 for no loss. Harini, the new bowler, another pacer, medium pacer, straight away trying to attack the stumps. This seems like Rupali was not interested for that single, as they were trying to deal it with the boundaries, it seems. I think where did things went wrong for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy, because they've known for those varieties. They have scored more runs on the board, they have defended less runs on the board. By having all these experiences, something went out of their control in this game, especially the kind of quality that they had with the ball. Smiling Pearls, both Rupali and Riya Srikanth, they were the key factors of Smiling Pearls. Well, that's a different advantage here for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. For instance, if they dismiss both the openers along with 2 to 3 top order batters, then the middle order or the lower middle order will be struggling hard to score runs on the board. And that's how you have to add a lot more pressure for the opposition, especially when you're defending in total. But as of now, this doesn't seem like Abdul Malik Cricket Academy were trying to restrict Smiling Pearls, as the runs was keep on leaking. Another wrist flick, almost caught. It was almost at the hands of the fielder. She should have caught that. Another wonderful running on the field. Just take back a look at that. Almost into the hands of that fielder. Should have taken. Couple of runs on the board. Riya Srikanth with 2 more to end this over. Can we see a boundary coming on this ball? Another wonderful delivery, as Riya Srikanth couldn't find the pace of the delivery. It's quite pressurizing for the bowlers to bowl to the set batters, especially someone like Riya Srikanth, who's at 47. But I could see Pearl bowlers were still fighting hard. Abdul Malik Cricket Academy bowlers were still fighting hard to restrict the opposition. That shows the kind of confidence. This time another proper placement, but it will be just a single to end this over. That's 9 overs 65 for no loss. Deekshana with the ball. Just pushing singles here and there. Keep on rotating the strikes and scoring runs on the board. Riya Srikanth and Rupali were marching towards the first victory of this quarter-final. In this wonderful venue, STAG Cricket Ground at Chennai, one of the iconic venues of the city. Speaking about the cricketing cultures of the city, we've spoken a lot about the growth of women's cricket in Chennai, the way how cricket have grown in Chennai, especially in this presidency, Madras presidency. Cricket has been among the culture of Chennai. Right, the way we watch the game to the way how they're playing. But there were restrictions to certain point of time. There were times when you need status symbols to play the game of cricket. You have to be in a position or a Maharaja to play the game of cricket. A common people can only watch the game. And then it transformed to mainstream for men. But for women, they were watching the game for a very long time. Now they are entering on the field and they are showing what they are capable of, especially in terms of cricket. We are not just to watch the game, we are here to play the game. Not just playing the game to produce a top quality cricket on the field. That's something they're trying to do. All the other cricketers, because some cricketers might be having bad days on some days. So you can't blame that the cricketers who didn't perform today or who failed to perform today. It's not regular commodity. One day will be Riya's day, other day will be Deekshana's day. That's how things goes. The good thing is, the best thing is, they have to worship the game. End of the day, cricket wins. You should have that passion to play the game of cricket. It's not about winning the game. The flighter delivery, just trying to tempt the batter to go for the big shot. He was almost successful with that decision. Deekshana is bowling really well in this over, despite of those two wide balls. Just pushing to score runs on the board. Couple of dot balls in this over. Back to back dot balls. Just 3 runs coming off it with 1 more to go from Deekshana. Another wonderful push. Dot ball to end this over. 68 for no loss. Harini continues to bowl. 49 to Riya Srikanth with 1 more for her well-deserved half century. I could clearly see the dugout. They are waiting for the celebration. They are waiting for that moment to cheer her player. Everyone were waiting for that single or a 2 or a boundary, whatever it is. It could be the half century for Riya Srikanth. That's gonna happen. 70 for no loss. Just going over the bowler's head. That should have been taken with a dramatic way as Riya Srikanth gets her half century. Yes, take over to the player. What a wonderful batting performance. Remember, she picked a hat-trick in the first innings. She had 4 wickets with her name. Now it's a half century from Riya Srikanth. But I could see the disappointment on the face of Riya Srikanth. Of course, it's a half century, but that previous shot she tried to play, that went on to be a drop catch, should have connected better. Probably that would be running on the thoughts of Riya Srikanth, right? But end of the day, it's such a quality cricketing performance. I think post power play, they've been struggling hard to score runs on the board with the kind of rhythm that they maintained before the power play. Probably placements might work. I love the idea of Riya Srikanth because she's trying to go over the bowler's head. Most of the times it will work. Rarely you might end up by being a catch-out candidate. And that's how it goes. She was such a wonderful cricketer to watch out for. As of Mahendra Singh Dhoni's words, it's not about just the skill, it's about the kind of confidence that you're embracing on the game. So if you're having 2 cricketers in front of you, with one having skill and the other having more and more confidence, Dhoni's choice would be on category B. Because you could make a confident guy to make anything out of it. And that's how it goes for Riya's case. It's not about the skill or the technique. Everyone have the cover drive, everyone have the pull shot. It's about the temperament that you're showing on the field. Or everyone bowls in swinger. So it's about the temperament and the character that this girl is showing, Riya Srikanth. Such a delight to watch out for. Slight bit of movement with the ball from Harini, but finds the proper placement. Will be just a single for Riya. With one more to end this over, 73-run partnership between these 2 batters, both Riya and Rupali. To be very honest, these 2 cricketers were actually carrying the side really well. For Smiling Pearls, the biggest pearls were Riya and Rupali. Without them, the value will be very, very low. Of course, that's not the baddest sign for a good team, but if a cricketer is in good form, it automatically embraces a lot more game and opportunities will be open for that side. That's what's happening to Smiling Pearls. They're almost winning this game, just 22 more runs to win the game. This time trying to go over the mid-off fielder. This time she is pretty successful in that decision that goes for the boundary. But the candidate is different. It's Riya Srikanth. It's Rupali this time. That placement went really good. End of 11 overs, 77 for no loss. $77 for no loss with 11 overs. 18 of 54 to win this game. Riya Srikanth on strike. Invited, had to go for the big shot. Of course, it went for the single, but this is not the right areas to bowl for from Deekshana. Like we are speaking about the growth of women's cricket, right? Iron Lady Trophy 2024 season numbers 7 is such a big initiative to improvise the growth of women's cricket by MCC, of course Adityan Thunders. Thanks to all the sponsors, the sports story. Another big shot, another proper connection which moves to the boundary ropes. A welcome boundary again for Smiling Pearls. They were rushing towards the victory. This time it's from the Rupali's bat. Look at the placement. Look at the placement as the mid-off fielder is just watching that ball racing out of the fence for the boundary. Just 13 more to win this game. the back foot with just a single. Such a solid cricketing performance. Two different sides with two different style of approach. Winning the toss works really well for them. For the Smiling Pearls. The flighted delivery couldn't make much impact out of it. Just pushes for the dot ball. 6 runs coming off this over so far with 2 more to go. 12 over 50 to win the game. Seems like 99.9% favorites here, Smiling Pearls. But till the last ball of the game, anything might happen. Through the covers, catches the goal. Not bad a connection for Riya Srikanth, as that key wicket is coming to an end. 52 of 35 balls. Riya Srikanth is making her way to the pavilion. Such a wonderful batting display from Riya Srikanth. Take back a look at that. Her intentions were to go through the covers, but that reached out the point fielder. Not much impactful celebrations. They know that the game is almost into the hands of Smiling Pearls now. Riya Srikanth, such a graceful innings to watch out for. 83 for 1 Smiling Pearls. Satvika, the new batter, in at number 3 for Smiling Pearls. Starts off with the dot ball to end this over. That's 83 for 1 after 12 overs, Smiling Pearls. As you could see, the bowling column, 6 bowlers for this side too, but couldn't make much impact out of it, as Riya Srikanth played a different innings altogether. Starting off with a single. Shreya, the new bowler, with just 11 more runs to win this game. Satvika back on strike, taking her guards. And every single thing is important at this phase of game. They have to learn a lot more things in the academy. While growing days, why guard is more important, why V grip is important. Why should we play with the straight batted shots? Why should we play grounded strokes? Why should we play with the turn of the ball? That why is something that will add a lot more value to a cricketer. We should always have a why factor in cricket. It's too hot here. The heat that produced here, the city, it's really challenging for the cricketers to play the game of cricket. To all those parents and family members watching out this game, even for the cricketers, you have to keep yourself hydrated. It's pretty mandatory for the cricketers at this point of time. Hydration is pretty much important. Fresh juices, fruits, and of course more and more H2O. It's pretty much mandatory with the kind of heat that Chennai has. Trying to create a huge impact out of it. Couldn't make much impact. Satvika still had to get off the mark. 0 of 3 balls. Back to back while slight a bit of pressure on the bowler. Pushes with the dot ball. Another wonderful over. This is from Shreya. She started with this over, but yes, at the point of time she started this over, there is a new batter along with Rupali, and that new batter is struggling hard to rotate the strike to get off the mark, of course. And now she's finding runs with the bat. A pull shot to open the account. With a couple of runs on the board, 2 to end this over, and Satvika got off the mark with those 2 runs. 13 overs, 88 for 1. Taken it is. Now that brings us to the end of Rupali's innings as Shakti Maya took the ball, bowled her first ball of the day and dismissed a key batter. Rupali walks back to the pavilion, just taking back a look at that, a long run up stride. Look at that cross-batted shot attempt and good catch, no mistake done by the fielder at the point. 25 of 38. Rupali gets back to the pavilion. 88 for 2 smiling poles. 8 for 2. Kausalya, the new batter, in at number 4. Extracting that extra bounce that we're speaking about. Finally, a bowler tested the bounce of that green grass. I've been waiting for this for a very long time, since the first ball of the first innings. We've seen a lot more spinners approaching. Even with Ria's case, she bowled a lot of full length delivery. So most of the fast bowlers didn't approach a lot with that green grass. Now finally we've seen that happening. Excellent piece of bowling from Shakti Maya. Just pushing the new batters under pressure. Now there is something to fight on. Of course, things are slightly out of your control, but still there is something to fight on for the Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. It's about those two key batters. They lost their wicket, but they have created a lot more impact in this game as of now. Six of 39. I think I don't want to reduce the equation. It's 99.9%. Strong shouts on the fingers, goes up. What happens in the middle? Kishore, without even thinking about the second thought, straight away raised his fingers, which shows that it's plumb in front of the wicket. As she's trying to play the cross-batted stroke, it seems. As Satvika has to get back to the pavilion, it's 89 for 3 now, Smiling Pearls. (89 for 3). Shakti Maya is such a wonderful bowler today. She picked up 2 wickets so far, with one being Rupali and other being Satvika. Vinoda, the new batter, in at number 5. Gets a bit of lucky runs here as Smiling Pearls were gaining a boundary somehow. This is what happened in the previous delivery. Lucky runs in the middle. Now just few more runs required to win this game. 2 more runs required to win this game, with Vinoda and Kausalya. Both the batters were trying to take things under control. Definitely it's going to be Ria who's making things happen for her side. Chance of going for the single. That's quite dramatic over. 2 wickets coming off the Dover. 93 for 3, Smiling Pearls. (93 for 3). With Kausalya and Vinoda. Slight bit of change of pace. Harshika, the new bowler, Seems like Abdul Malik Cricket Academy were exploring all the bowlers at this big phase as things were out of control. So they are trying all their options with just 2 more to win this game. Into the back foot. No chance of that, going for the single. Just keeping things under control. Swings and misses it. Easy one for Harshika, that is. As Kausalya completely misjudged the ball and trying to play that sweep shot without watching the ball completely. Just taking back, look at that. Extra flight to delivery, slight a bit of movement, heads were tilting towards the short direction. Now the right way to play. Kausalya walks back to the pavilion for single run. 93 for 4 now. Smiling Pearls. Revati, the new batter, and at number 6 for Smiling Pearls. This is such a wonderful sweep shot, but you can't get runs on the board. Good stop at the deep from the square leg fielder. Good cricket all round overall. Right from the way it was being bowled. Slight a bit of movement for Harshika. This is genuinely outswinging the ball. With the kind of flight that she is having, it's tempting the batters to go for the big shot. But what you have to watch is, you have to watch the movement of the ball. Movement of the ball, look at that. Look at that. She's a medium pacing leg spinner. That's what we could name. That's the kind of style she's bowling. In fact, it's not turning, it's actually moving. It's swinging. Look at that. Slight bit of movement on the offside. Catches the call, and that landed safely. Run out opportunity, misjudge, miscommunication in the middle. That went down to be wicket number 5 for Smiling Pearls. Just rushing things as quick as possible. Take back a look at that. Easy one for the wicketkeeper to do the job. As you could see, the disappointed batter walking away. Vinodha never expected that to happen. That's 93 for 5 as Vinodha walks back to the pavilion. .93 for 5. Fyro is the new batter in at number 7. as the last over went on to be a wonderful over. No chance of going for the single as all the fielders were standing inside the 30-yard circle. This is interesting battle to watch out for as Abdul Malik Cricket Academy was still fighting. And I love this spirit of cricket from Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. They were never fed down. They were still encouraging each other. The energy I could see clearly on the field. I would have added a slip fielder rather than the third man fielder. Slight bit of skating on low bounce. Typical Indian conditions. You know, for Englishmen back in home, the conditions would be completely different when they play in STAG. That's the kind of reaction it has. It's typical Indian condition, to be very honest. Probably a glimpse of Sri Lankan style, because South India and Sri Lanka were similarly sharing similar kind of soil nature. Comparing to the subcontinents or comparing to the way North Indian culture, Dharmashala was completely different from this. Pakistani cricket grounds were slightly bit of different from this. That's one of those reasons why they're producing a lot more fast bowlers and spinners. Now the scores will level. Shakti Maya continues to bowl 94 for 5. With that single, Revati got off the mark. Now 5 rows to face her first ball. For Smiling Pearls, they won the toss. They had decided to bowl first against the unbeaten Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. And they are making things happen in the middle. That's most important. No, you can't steal runs here. Gentle ladies, we are Abdul Malik Cricket Academy. If you want to score runs, try scoring runs. You can't steal runs. The kind of confidence that they're showing, really impressive with the way how they performed so far. Both the sides have played top quality cricket end of the day. Shakti Maya continues to bowl. Wide ball, and with that the game coming to an end. Smiling Pearls were winning this game by a difference of 5 wickets against Abdul Malik Cricket Academy in the quarterfinals of this Iron Lady Trophy season number 7. Smiling faces and smile pearls. Why not? They did a majestic thing against one of the strongest sides of the tournament. And without any doubt, 52 not out and 4 wickets for her name. Riya Srikanth will be the player of this game. Along with that, a lot of good contributions in the middle for Smiling Pearls. We must speak about their contributions. Rupali, of course, the left arm spinner. With the bat, she scored really well. And most importantly, the key bowler, Vinoda, picked up 3 wickets. Whereas for Abdul Malik Cricket Academy, things didn't go as of expected. We've seen them using 9 bowlers today, including the skipper Sushantika. And you know, Shakti Maya was quite successful with that. Harshika Naladurai was quite successful with that. Dikshana bowled really well, but this is not enough for such a low target. That matters a lot. Well, that's the news from the quarterfinal 1 of Iron Lady Trophy season number 7. It's Smiling Pearls winning the game by a difference of 5 wickets.